So, dunk your flowers in a jar filled with water and leave them there for a few days. Water curing processes flowers in a fraction of the time, but it comes with some serious drawbacks as well. And it looks pretty crazy. But first, real quick, everyone loves phygenetics and big buds, but what's the secret to big tasty buds? Phygenetics and solid nutrients. The iCan VIP Bean Club has always got mailboxes burning down. Join the iCan VIP Bean Club and get in before the next drop. Or if you don't want to wait, use the code icanthc and grab some of the new iCan seeds today. The new crosses are lit and they're selling out super fast. But it don't stop there, guys, because the iCan Organics nutrients will help you to get the best out of your grows. The full line of iCan Organics can be used as a standalone or incorporated into your existing nutrients. If you're using bottle nutrients or dry amendments, it doesn't matter. It's the easiest way to feed your plants. Claim your iCan Organics today at a discounted price with the code icanthc. Grab it and let's grow! Now we all know curing your flower helps to break down the harsh substances for a smoother and more pleasant taste. Curing your flower usually involves just leaving them to mature in some empty glass jars. But a lot of home growers can also use water to cure their flowers too. Water curing processes flowers in a fraction of the time, but it can be a little bit risky and sound downright crazy. Now, proper drying and curing takes the taste, smell, and overall experience of your flower to a whole nother level. Curing in particular helps to remove a lot of those harsh molecules and improve the flavor and smoothness of your flower. However, there are growers who just don't want to wait a few extra months so that they can sample their hard-earned flower. In these instances, water curing definitely serves as a simple shortcut. Perfect. Although this method cures your flower faster, it definitely comes with some downsides. Now, before we get into this crazy process, it's fair to say that the community has differing views on this, with lots of people either considering it to be worth the experiment or just straight up WTF and not something that should be done like ever. Now, as most of you guys would know, curing involves taking your flowers and putting it into glass jars or grove bags for several weeks at a time. Although it sounds simple, a lot of important processes happen during that time that vastly improve the quality of your flower. Now, I've got a great two-part video on drying and curing for the best harvest possible, so make sure you guys check that out. But in a nutshell, when cured, the flower is kept at optimal humidity, and that's where these little things come in super handy. And when they're in those jars or bags at that optimal humidity, a lot of the internal chemical components change. Much of the chlorophyll, sugars, and other molecules that make your flower harsh to the taste actually begin to break down. With far less of those molecules lingering in the end product, the terpene profile of your strain and your flowers really begin to shine through. That's where you get the most taste. Perfect. As RQS put it, curing also increases the quality of the flower itself, turning those harsh hits that usually irritate your throat into some rich, creamy, soft tokes that go down a treat in bongs, vapes, blunts. Doesn't matter, it just tastes a whole lot better. Now, water curing achieves a similar method to traditional curing. They're both done in jars, just done through a different mechanism. Instead of waiting weeks for those harsh molecules to break down, direct contact with the water actually pulls them swiftly out of the flowers. Here's how my homie Mr. Grow It actually described it.
First, what is water curing? According to Way of Leaf, water curing involves submerging your buds in water for a certain period. Water curing does an excellent job of removing unwanted substances and purifying your product. Overall, it's a faster method than traditional curing, but does have a few side effects. Submerging the buds in water.
Now, although the water curing method works a lot faster, it definitely comes with a lot of significant trade-offs that growers need to be aware of. And right off the rip, a lot of you guys may think water curing sounds a little bit similar to bud washing. Now, although they do sound a little bit similar, water curing and bud washing are different techniques that achieve completely different outcomes. Bud washing is simply using water to quickly clean your flowers after harvest. Unlike water curing, which actually keeps the flowers submerged for several days or weeks at a time, bud washing actually takes place over a matter of minutes. When you're bud washing, growers just dunk their flowers into a series of buckets to clean the debris, and after giving them a quick rinse, they move them straight to the drying rack, and that improves their taste and gets rid of any of those pesky contaminants. Now, a quick reminder, guys, if you're getting value from this video, please do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And if you want to support us further, hit the link in the description below, join the iCan VIP Bean Club for some fire genetics, cop some iCan Organics with the code icanthc, or grab some of the new merch from the iCanFAM web store. Now, here's how water curing actually works. Many of the harsh, undesirable chemical compounds in your flowers are water soluble. This means that upon contact, they diffuse out of the resin and plant tissue and into the water. During water curing, flowers are submerged for a relatively short period of time. what starts off as clear drinking water usually becomes quite diluted and fills up with chlorophyll, sugars, and other potentially irritating chemicals. But not every water-soluble molecule in your flower tastes bad. In fact, some of them are very valuable. Fortunately, cannabinoids like THC and CBD are fat-soluble and hydrophobic, meaning that no amount of water or contact with the water will remove them from the trichomes. But the terpenes, however, those are a different story. Those aromatic molecules underpin the signature scents of your flower and also contribute different flavors to each individual strain. The terps also dictate how stimulating or couch-locking your flowers can be. Now, because these terps are water-soluble, water curing removes a large quantity of these tasty molecules from your flowers. And that brings us to the major trade-off with water curing: flavor for speed. Now, some folks describe the taste of water-cured flower as grassy and a little bit flat, but others describe it as the smoothest smoke they've ever had. So for those growers who value a smoother experience above all else, then water curing definitely comes to mind. Perfect. And as some folks put it, terps are definitely water soluble, and you trade off a lot of flavor, but you get to enjoy your flower a lot faster. And that right there is definitely one of the benefits of water curing: speed. Water curing saves time. All you need is a jar, some water, and it's super simple. According to some home growers and to this RQS article, it provides a smoother smoke and it has less smell, making it less obvious. By pulling the terpenes out of your flowers, water curing will actually decrease the aroma and the flavor of your harvest. But on the flip side, a lack of terps also means that your flower will become a lot more discreet. Blazing one up in the middle of the town or on your lunch break just became a whole lot easier and a lot less harder to consume. Now, the process itself is actually pretty simple. All you need to do is harvest your flower and throw them into jars and fill them with water. Shake them about and leave them in the jars for about a week. But you do want to change that water about once a day. A clean batch of water will actually work a lot more efficiently to continually absorb any of those unwanted photochemicals. Do that for about a week and then strain and dry your flowers. You want to remove a lot of that excess water. Now, here's a trick question: can you water cure already dried flower? According to RQS, you can definitely water cure dried flower to remove any particulates and terpenes, but you'll have to let it dry out once more. So water curing freshly harvested flower will actually save a lot of time and prevent you from having to dry your flowers twice. So instead of harvesting, drying, water curing, drying, you can just go straight from harvest to water cure to dry. Now, this was definitely another interesting topic, and lots of people have been talking about different ways to cure and save time and speed up the process. But this is definitely one of those crazier processes and crazier methods. And trust me guys, I've heard tons of crazy methods. But personally, I prefer the old school method of curing. Pop them in the jars or in your grow bags and just let them air cure. But I want to find out what you guys think. What do you guys do? Have you guys ever water cured? Do you guys like it, or do you guys prefer the old school tried and tested method? Drop it in the comments down below and let me know. But wait, if you guys want to find out more about growing that fire, then definitely check out any episode on screen right now, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, fam.